Hello, we're back on YouNow. How very exciting. Let's just refresh YouTube as well to make sure we've also appeared on YouTube. We should have done. We should be on both. I am using the YouNow app today, which I don't normally use. So if we've got any problems, just yell. Hopefully it is going to appear on YouTube like it's supposed to, and all the sound and everything will be working the way it's supposed to. My channel YouTube seems to have crashed on me, so I still don't know for certain if we've gone live on YouTube. Hopefully we have. It looks like we have. Have we got sound? I think we've got sound over on YouTube as well, haven't we? Excellent. Good. How are we all? Is everybody good? How did I get Spider-Man early? We bought it from Shop 2. This isn't one of those secret behind the scenes got a review copy thing, which I have done for games in the past, but we don't have a relationship with Insomniac, who's made this one. So yeah, we just bought it and it came today. So yeah, buy from Shop 2 if you want your games early. So I'll be streaming that on Twitch in an hour's time. So anybody who likes video games or Spider-Man, twitch.tv/LalujoFM, in about an hour I'm going to be playing that game through. I've not even loaded it up yet. It's going to be, in fact, it's just finished installing. I'm just going to make sure that it doesn't need to do like a day one patch or anything like that, because I want it to be ready to go at 9 o'clock, and I'm very, very excited about it. Oh, there you go. It looks like it has installed a patch. So in that case, get it. Oh, I don't want to start the game. Oh, it's all going wrong. While this is all going wrong, let me just remind everybody how these YouNows work, or if you are new here, this can obviously be your first exposure to how we do a YouNow stream. Two things. Firstly, if you are watching on YouTube and you want to get involved in the Q&A that's about to begin, you need to come over to YouNow. I can't see any of the chat on YouTube at all. You'll see there's a message constantly being posted by me in the chat on YouTube telling you that I can't see any of the chat, and it also contains a link that you can click on to come straight over to YouNow. That appears straight in the YouTube chat, or you can just come to younow.com/Lalujo, or there's another link down in the description to the YouTube version of the stream. By all means, sit and watch it on YouTube if you want, but I can't interact with you. I cannot see the chat. I am only looking at the chat that is on YouNow. For those of you who are already over here on YouNow, we are doing a similar thing to normal. Coffee with Kev, although I've called it You Just Got Rickrolled, because you did. But I might not finish the coffee in the time we've got available. It is a full cup of coffee. Proper coffee again. I've finally got some new pods from my Tassimo. I was drinking instant last time I did this, and it was very upsetting. But I am back on the proper coffee. However, we're not just going to go all the way through. We're not going to keep going until I finish the coffee. We have a hard stop. We have to end this stream at 8:30 tonight so that I have time to get the Twitch stream for Spider-Man set up. So we will finish at 8:30. People who are desperate to see the Spider-Man stuff at 9, I'm relying on you to remind me when it's 8:30 so I can stop this stream to get that stream set up. Right, anyway, how are we all? I think I've waffled on long enough to give everybody a chance to arrive. Just one more reminder for the YouTube lot. If you do want to get involved in the Q&A, you've got to come over to YouNow. I can't see the YouTube chat. So if you want to be able to ask me questions, you want me to answer the questions, you need to come over to YouNow, younow.com/Lalujo. The link is in the chat. The link is in the description. We're doing it all over here on YouNow. Right, let's get stuck into this. Will I be getting Red Dead Redemption? I will be. I'm very excited about that too. How often do I YouNow? 2, 3, 4 times a week-ish. Maybe 3 times a week on average. I usually go live on YouTube once a week as well, just for the people who can't get over to YouNow. Yeah, 2 or 3, 4 times a week. It depends. I'll remind you, but you need to see my comment. Well, I saw that one, so just keep reminding me. I live in America, so we have soccer practice at 3:30, which I'm pretty sure is 8:30 for you. Excellent. Did we contact Andy's school? Yeah, we talked about that on the end of the vlog that came out today. We contacted the school yesterday. We are going to be going in to see them. We haven't sorted out the time for it yet, but I have spoken to the social worker today, and I've had an email exchange with the head. I think we're getting stuff sorted, but, I mean, there's only so much you can do. It's very much closing the gate after the horse has bolted situation where, I mean, it turns out 3 days in he's actually getting on okay with the minibus, but that's not really the point. We're not going to force them to go back to the old system now, but we do need to make the message very, very clear that in future they can't just drop changes on us without telling us. We need to be able to prepare for them, because they got lucky this time, massively lucky. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to watch the last few days' vlogs, and that will all become clear. How long ago was my last Twitch stream? 2 days ago? Or 3 days? It was Monday night, went up 3 days ago. Did you miss it, Tig? Very upsetting. What's my middle name? David. The point is the principle. They said, yeah, exactly. They said one change at a time. They've changed loads of stuff. That's the point. We're not actually looking for them to change anything. Because, again, he's got on fine with the changes at school. I talked through with the head yesterday about how his TA that he loves is still around. She's just not dedicated to Andy one-to-one now. They've got it set up so there's 3 TAs in the room for across the 6 kids plus the teacher, so nobody's got completely dedicated one-to-one anymore because the school felt they didn't need it. Apparently Andy's been getting along fine, and whichever TA is free will come to him when he needs it, which if we'd have known that was happening and we could have prepared him for it, that's absolutely fine. That's obviously what we want to be working towards. We want to get to the point where Andy doesn't need a TA. That would be amazing. But the point is, it shouldn't just be dropped on us. And it's certainly because it seems like they told Andy about all the changes before the summer, because he did seem to be expecting it all, which I think is how they've got away with it. They've kind of done their bit to prepare him. But then we've not built on that over the summer because we didn't know the changes were happening. So it could have very easily gone very badly wrong. And everyone was very lucky. So, yeah. Yeah, Damien, I don't know what was going on with the Twitch. For anyone who doesn't know what Damien's talking about, my last Twitch stream that I did on Monday night, I did try and upload it to YouTube as a replay on my Lelujo 2 channel that I've just started, and the sound just cut out 12 minutes in. I have no idea why. I don't know if uploading stream replays to that is going to be something I'm going to be able to do. If I can't upload stream replays to it, it's going to be very, very, very sporadic content on that channel, because I don't really feel like I want to go back to doing loads and loads of non-Football Manager gaming videos and like series of that stuff, because it takes up a lot of time. No one really watches it, and that channel's not even monetized, so it really is just hobby stuff. If I want to do something for a hobby and have a little bit of fun with it, that's fine, but I can't do it and call it work because I'm not getting paid for it. No, this is not a Team Mystic hat. This is a Nightwing hat. Baker, I'm glad you enjoy. I'm glad you like the new merch. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen, we've relaunched the merch store, differentisnotbroken.com. The stuff that we already had, or that we've done in the past, is back on there. There's a couple of new bits as well that Andy was very much involved in the design of. We're officially launching it on tomorrow's vlog, but I've already tweeted about it, I've already put it on Instagram, and I've already told you a lot about it. So it's basically launched now. Yeah, it's cool. It's an experiment. We'll see how we get on. We'll give it a month. If it's something that people are using, we'll keep it up. If it turns out that actually no one really wanted merch anyway, we'll just take it back down again and use that site for something else. Because I bought that domain, or I tried to buy that domain like 3 months ago, and it didn't. It all fell apart, and it's been back and forth with the hosting people for ages, and it officially became mine earlier this week. And the original plan was to do a blog on there and host the podcast on there, because we were going to call the podcast Different Is Not Broken. We were going to do a podcast and a blog, and all building towards writing a book about our life with Andy, which would also be called Different Is Not Broken. But all of that stuff's kind of on the back burner at the moment, and I thought, well, while I've got the domain, we may as well just stick the merch store on there. But if, like I say, if no one uses the merch store, then we'll just repurpose the site. Yes, I am going to EGX. We're going to be at EGX Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm doing a panel on the Saturday and a panel on the Sunday. So I'm doing a Football Manager content creators panel on the Saturday on the Fringe stage, which I think is Saturday afternoon sometime. And then Sunday lunchtime, we're doing a live podcast, Mature Gamer Podcast Live. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to just see me wandering around the show floor at EGX, or to come and watch me perform on a stage, which I haven't done in a nerdy context for about 2 years. All of the speaking I've done recently, I've had to act like a grown-up, like at the autism show and stuff like that. But we have done quite a few live podcasts to an audience before. We've done stuff like this in the past, and it's very exciting to be doing it again. I am a little bit out of practice though, hence I'm jumping back into console games for a few weeks so I can say, yeah, I've played Spider-Man. Yeah, I've played the new Tomb Raider game that I think comes out next week. So I've got to pretend that I still know how to do video games. Oh, look, we've got a little numpty in the chat. Oh, let's ban the numpty. Bear with me a moment, folks. We have to ban the numpty. There he goes, look. Oh, he's banned. Oh, I'll have to go and spit his bile somewhere else. Does Anna see the girls as her kids? No, I don't think. Mainly because they're only here half the time. Their mum is still very much part of their life. It would be a little bit weird, I think. How do I never run out of stuff to say? It really helps when across the two platforms there's nearly 200 people watching, constantly asking me questions. So I'm constantly answering. I don't get a chance to answer all of the questions that are asked. So it's pretty easy to not run out of things to say. If I was streaming to one person, it would be a bit harder, I think. I will be vlogging EGX, definitely. I'm going to EGX with my school on Thursday. For 4 years, I tried to arrange school trips to EGX across 2 different schools. None of them were having any of it. And I kept saying, I'm a computer science teacher. EGX is the perfect place. We never go on trips. This would be the perfect place for a trip. Neither of the schools I worked at were biting on that at all. So it's really cool to hear there's a school trip going to EGX. Are there any Funkos or PC-related stuff at EGX, Kev? Yes, loads of both. What's my favourite game at the moment? Football Manager. It's the only one I'm really playing at the moment. I am enjoying, what's that black and white game on the Switch that I started a series on before the summer, and I go back to occasionally, but I can't remember the name of because it's just always open. West of Loathing. I really enjoy West of Loathing as well. Who are we going to EGX with? It's going to be me and Anna and Sheepdog and Pab. And we're going to be joined by Bouncy Ball as well. Anyone who is a long-time podcast listener, he used to host a podcast with us like 3 years ago, and he's coming back to do the live show because Anna doesn't want to do the live show. She hates stuff like that, so she's gonna sit that out, and Bouncy's going to step in for her. So we still have a 4-man booth. Any tips for maths A level? Yeah, study hard. It's the hardest A level. I did it and really struggled. Maybe because EGX is not educational. It is, though. For a computer scientist, it's definitely educational. If you go and hang out in the indie games area, in the Resd area, and they usually have a little careers fair there as well, there's plenty of educational stuff at EGX. The panels and the developer sessions and stuff, there's loads of educational stuff at EGX. It's not all about queuing up to play Call of Duty. Will Andy be at Respite? No, Shortstay's going to come over and sit with Andy. We'll be driving to EGX. From where we are in Peterborough to get to Birmingham, it's much easier just to drive over to Birmingham than it is to get a train. It actually takes longer to get a train from where we live to Birmingham than it does to just drive. Do you wish they made Kevin Chapman pop figures? I do. I've seen the Aspie World got a pop figure. Someone made a pop figure of him. And I'm so jealous. If anyone knows who that person is, or if you are that person, I would love to have a pop vinyl of myself. I think that would be like completion of a major life goal. Any tips for Year 11 students? Yes, a whole book of them. The Lazy Student's Revision Guide, available on Amazon as either an ebook or paperback. Very reasonably priced. But yeah, hundreds. I don't want to take over the whole stream of them. We will perhaps do a stream on that as a topic at some point, but for now, read my book. My teacher's a computer scientist and somehow managed to arrange it. I live near Peterborough too, and it only takes 2 and a bit hours. That is awesome. I mean, from Peterborough, it only takes an hour and a half to get to the NEC. So I think 2.5 hours is allowing for a service station break. Shameless promo. Hey, someone asked. That means it's not shameless. It was promo though. That book, without that book, the last year would have been hard at times. That book has gone a long way towards keeping us afloat. Kev, have you ever thought of coming to New York City for the New York City Gaming Convention? I've thought of coming to New York City many times. Unfortunately, my bank balance has never allowed me to do it. One day, maybe. Yes, I am going to London Comic Con in October. Only for the Saturday and Sunday this time, though. We normally go for the full 3 days, but Anna's new uni timetable has her there on Thursday and Friday. So we're going to be travelling down after uni on Friday, so we'll get to our hotel kind of late Friday night so that we can hit the convention first thing Saturday morning. Interestingly, they declined my press pass to Comic-Con this time, and I've now reached that point where I'm no longer press, I'm now a creator. So I'm going on a creator pass for the first time, which is another one of those awesome career milestones. I have been to Insomnia before. I didn't go to Insomnia this August, but I went to the 2 previous ones. I really enjoy Insomnia, but because it's aimed at a much younger age group than Comic-Con or EGX, it's very much a teenagers event, Insomnia. They put it on really awkward times for people who've got families. It's on August Bank Holiday weekend and Easter weekend, and it is hard, as someone who's got a family, to get a pass, certainly for a weekend. I usually only go for the day to Insomnia. It's just difficult getting along there. They need to do a Insomnia for adults and do it just on a random weekend. But then I guess that's exactly what EGX is. Are you going to see? Huh? What's that question about Comic-Con 2019? I'm confused. I don't know where Andy's biological father is, which is good. What's my Pokemon code? I've tweeted it a few times. I'm not going to show it now because my friends list is nearly full. But if you dig through my tweets hard enough, you'll be able to find it. Have I played any of the board games we were sent yet? Yeah, we've played. We played the one that we played on the vlog that I can't remember the name of. We also played the little blocks ones that's like noughts and crosses. Most of them are for 3 players or more though, so we're going to take a bunch of them to EGX and a bunch to Comic-Con to play in the hotel in the evenings. And we need to arrange a proper games night with the girls. Did my old school mind me streaming? My old school made me... I was made to sign a contract saying I wouldn't stream. I almost got suspended over streaming, which is why I streamed on Twitch for like 6 months and then just stopped for a year because they made me stop. And then the moment I left my job, I streamed that night. But they never had a problem with me doing YouTube. They just didn't like the immediate interaction of streaming. When will you make some more original posts on my page? Huh? What that means. Nightwing's my favourite superhero. Where did you get the hat? The hat is imported from a website in America called Superhero Stuff. I think it's superherostuff.com. They're quite expensive. I think it was $30 plus another $15 to deliver it because it was from America, but it is an awesome hat. I'm going to get... They occasionally do a 3 for 2 offer, so I'm waiting for the 3 for 2 offer at some point, and I'm going to get some more because they've got some really cool ones, but I can't really keep spending $30 on a baseball cap. The age difference between me and Anna is 3 years. I'm 36, she's 33. She just looks a lot younger than me, but there's only 3 years between us. Oh, 15 minutes till 8:30, halfway point of this stream, which means I'm just going to take this opportunity just as a reminder for people watching on YouTube that I can't see the YouTube chat. So if you're trying to get a question answered on YouTube, you need to come over to YouNow. I keep posting the link in the YouNow in the YouTube chat that you can just click on and come straight to YouNow. I'm not actually posting that; it's a bot doing that for me, but. Same thing. Every now and again, Kevin Chapman posts to tell you he's not reading the chat, and you just click on the link, or you can come to younow.com/Lelujo, or there's a link in the description as well. But regardless, if you want me to answer your question, you've got to come over to YouNow and ask it. What education does Anna have left? She's got another 2 years left at university. Have I got ancestors from other countries? Not many. The only one really that I'm aware of, I think, is a great-great-granddad who was French. But really, we're pretty much Peterborough, going back generations. Is Anna doing college this year or just working uni? Yeah, just working uni. So she's basically replaced the day at college that she had last year with work instead, because she's got that extra day now. Do I have an opinion on ABA therapy? Not one that I've formed for myself. I have second-hand opinions from our social worker in the school, who both said, yeah, it's basically child abuse, don't do it. But it's not offered in this country, really, unless you go to the right place and you're in the right area. I've seen examples of it, and it does just look like bullying. It looks like picking on the kid. But I know if you go to other parts of the world, it's considered the very best thing to do for somebody with autism. So I think it depends on... I tend to go with the opinions of the professionals. I guess if we were in America, Andy would be having regular ABA therapy, and we wouldn't even hear the alternative opinions probably. But in this country, I think if we tried to do it, our social worker would have a lot to say about it and would do quite a lot to block it, I imagine. I find it funny how David is before Anna on the vlog. Yeah, it's just because of the template I used. I don't really know how to use After Effects. Has Andy ever had a friend over? No. You should get back into coding. I'm so rusty now. Because even teaching, you don't do a lot of coding. I haven't actually done any proper coding for myself for about 5 years. And there's nothing for me to code. I mean, occasionally I need to like fix something on a website, and that's about as far as I get. But actual proper coding, I was never like at a professional level. And I like doing this more. Why do I film on YouTube? Because it's fun. Why do you watch YouTube? Does Andy speak to you about his friends? He doesn't. Do I know how to code an app? I've never made an app, but I'm sure it's not that difficult. Do I miss teaching? No. Any advice for starting a new job? It depends what kind of job it is, and I've always been of a mind that, because my plan has always been to work for myself long term. I don't like having a job. I always wanted to work for myself, so I always went into jobs knowing what I wanted to get out of them. So I was every job I've ever had, with the possible exception of one that I literally did just take for the money because it was too good to turn down. But most of the jobs that I've had in my life, I've had because I wanted to learn a skill that was part of that job. So one of the main motivations of going into teaching was to perfect my ability to sit and do this and to talk coherently and clearly. And I think going through teaching really, really helped me with that. I can now command a room, command an audience far better than I could before I started teaching. Because bear in mind, I was already doing internet stuff long before I became a teacher. I was podcasting when I was at uni. I always knew I wanted to do something creative, something in this kind of field. I didn't necessarily know YouTuber, because back when I was at uni, YouTube was a very new thing that you couldn't make money doing at the time. It wasn't something you could do as a job. It was just something that looked fairly cool, but then so did podcasting. And I thought, actually, I kind of like the look of this podcasting thing. I'll throw all my efforts into that. And I didn't look at YouTube again for another 3 or 4 years. And then it kind of came back round into what I was looking for. What was the question? Yeah, just go into your new job, making sure you know why you're there. If you're just there to pick up a wage, just do your best and pick up your wage and try not to upset anybody. But if you're there to learn a skill, do everything you can to learn that skill. I don't do shout outs, so I'm not going to do shout outs, even if they are about the Eiffel Tower. What's my all-time favourite movie? Probably the second Batman one, like the second of the recent Batman ones. What was it called? Batman, The Dark Knight. Was it The Dark Knight? I don't really watch movies. I watch them so infrequently, but that one's very cool. Can you see me without my glasses? You can. I just look like a mole squinting. I can't see anything without my glasses on. Will Andy do GCSEs? Probably one day, but not anytime soon. Best ever book. Any book. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I talk about it all the time, and it genuinely did change my life. I'd recommend it to anybody. Is Anna going to start a channel? I keep telling her she should. I don't actually think she's got time to do it now, because she's at work Monday and Tuesday. She's at uni Thursday and Friday. She's obviously going to have a lot of uni work to do as well. She's still got Andy. She still likes to get her game time in. She's still doing the podcast once a week. So I don't see how she'd fit it in. But I think she'd enjoy it, but I just don't think she's confident enough to do it. I've been nervous going back to school recently. Have you got any advice? I mean, I talked about this quite a lot on the back to school stream that we did the other day, but really you just have to keep asking yourself 2 questions. What's the worst thing that could happen, and how long would it take to recover from? And really ask yourself those questions and come up with the answers to them, because once you realise that the worst thing that could happen isn't that bad, and even if it did happen, it wouldn't be a long-term problem, then a lot of that anxiety starts to go away. Yes, we're definitely going to be going to Goose Fair this year. Probably the first Saturday of October. In fact, I've got the date written down. Weather permitting, we'll be at Goose Fair in Nottingham on Saturday the 6th of October. and we'll be there in time to see the sun go down. Who's my favourite Lost character? Sawyer. Sawyer was awesome. What's the best ticket to get for London Comic Con? Never been. I've never bought a ticket for Comic Con, so I don't actually know. I've always gone on press passes. How long have I been a parent to Andy? 6 and a bit years. I'm autistic and the government is asking for money because I'm 16. It costs like £300 a year because I post 16. I don't really know what you mean. Asking for money for what? When was Andy diagnosed with autism? When he was a toddler. What's the topic for parenting autism? Stereotypes. I posted it up on the community page earlier today. So, in fact, that's a very good point. I completely forgot to post at the topic for the parenting autism video. I'm recording that video tomorrow morning. So if you once we're done here, if you want to head over to the community page on the YouTube channel, the topic is stereotypes. Get your questions on there. Thumbs up any questions you like the look of. But I think we're going to be a bit light on questions this week. I have made an FAQ. There's an FAQ on the channel. I can only find your Pokemon username, can't find your code. They should have been posted together. My school trip to EGX cost £50 today. Is that a pretty good deal? Again, I don't know how much EGX tickets cost. I've never bought one. I mean, it sounds, when you factor in travel and stuff as well, it sounds like a good deal. We charge students like 30 quid to go to Bletchley Park. And there was no event on there. They just had to go to a museum that's free to enter. So, yeah, 50 quid to get in EGX seems fine. I don't watch Coronation Street, no. Does a supply teacher make more money than a full-time teacher? They can do. But they'll make more as their daily rate than a normal teacher, but they don't get paid during the holidays because they only get paid for the days they work. So it kind of averages out. I'd have to pay £300 for transport to my school. Yeah, we've got that issue with Lucy at the moment. I've just had to buy her £180 bus pass to get her to Christmas, getting to her new college, because her college, she has to get the bus to college now. And apparently, once you hit 16, you don't get free transport anymore, which I didn't know. And they asked me for 550 quid for an annual bus pass, and I just laughed because I don't have 550 quid at the moment. I didn't really have 180 quid, but I kind of spent my hotel money for Comic-Con. So I need to have a good month this month, or I'm not going to, well, I'll still be going to Comic-Con. I'll just have to sleep in the car or something. What did I get in my GCSEs? I got 6 A's, 3 B's and a C. My favourite subject at school was business studies. Loved business studies. That's doing business studies lessons at GCSE was when I decided I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be in business because I just thought it was fascinating. Make a deal with Anna saying you'll start calling her subscribers Chap Fam as she starts the channel. I don't know if that's a good deal for me. Is it just when he... Is it just Andy when he gets picked? I don't know what you mean. Did I do media at school? No, I don't think media existed when I was at school. Why don't business studies teachers start a business if they're so good at business? Well, like they always say, those that can't do teach. So I was a computer science teacher because I wasn't good enough to be a professional programmer. Music teachers are music teachers because they're not good enough to be professional musicians. Business studies teachers are business studies teachers because they're not good enough at business to run their own business. It tends to just be how it is with teachers. 4-minute warning. What did I take in my options? Right. So maths was... This is hard. So I did 10 GCSEs because this was like... I picked my options 22 years ago. So it was all different then. So I did 10 GCSEs. So I did maths, English language, English literature, double science. So that's 5. Business studies, geography, history, German, and systems and design control, which was like a technology one. The closest thing to computer science that they had, but it wasn't. There was no programming. It was more like the system, more closer to engineering than anything else, probably. What was my favourite A-level maths module? Statistics. I still love statistics now as just a thing. I mean, I'm a football manager player. Of course I like statistics. Do I watch many vloggers like Alfie Day? I certainly don't watch Alfie Days. I don't really watch many vloggers, no. Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. I watch every video they put out. Other than that, I don't really watch any other vloggers. I've been working my way around some family vloggers, like watching 2 or 3 of each of their episodes, just to get an idea of what other family vloggers are doing. But I find it quite hard. It's quite nauseating to sit through some of that content where it's just, I don't know if they put a weird filter on it to make everything look pastel coloured, and then they force their mouths up like this, and then they're chirpy and happy all the time and selling you merch every minute and a half, and they all seem to be the same. So yeah, I'm not really into that. I've never listened to a True Geordie podcast, so I don't know. I probably would like them. I just don't have time for them. How do I feel about gay pride? What, the event or just in general? I've been to Pride before. It's awesome. It was a great day. They had Nottingham Pride on, and the same day we were doing a live podcast, literally in the hotel next to where Pride was happening. So before the show, we were out there dancing to the music and getting into the spirit of things. I had my rainbow feather boa thing on. It was awesome. It was a great day. But yeah, everyone should be able to live their life the way they want to live their life. I mean, that just is an undeniable truth that if anyone has a problem with that, they've just got to have a word with themselves, because it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand how anyone can have a problem with anyone else living their life the way they want to live their life. It's madness. I wasn't referring specifically to the Sacconi Jolies. I was referring to all family vloggers that I've watched, pretty much. Okay, most family vloggers that I've watched. They're all kind of carbon copies of each other. Can I retweet my Pokemon code? I wouldn't be able to find the tweet. If you can't find it, I can't find it. So, probably not. I'll tweet it out again at some point, but I'll forget to do it tonight. I'm playing Spider-Man 9 o'clock on Twitch. I think that's what the question was. But we are going to have to end this stream here because of that very reason. I need to get my Twitch and PlayStation and everything set up. I haven't streamed from the PlayStation for months. I'm pretty sure something's going to go wrong, and I hope it doesn't. So if you want to keep the conversation going, come over to Twitch at 9 o'clock. But really, it's going to be kind of about Spider-Man. So it's not going to be lots of questions about me and Andy. It's going to be awesome Spider-Man fan. We'll still obviously have a chat, but it's not going to be quite as interactive as a Football Manager stream would be, because to give you an idea, I'm going to be sat looking at my TV, which is over here, and then I'll look back at the chat occasionally, whereas when I play Football Manager, I'm constantly looking at the chat, and I sometimes look at the Football Manager. So I'm going to head over there and get that set up. Hopefully I'll see some of you over there. Otherwise, obviously keep checking out the vlog every day at 5 o'clock, and we'll be back doing another one of these streams. Probably over the weekend. I'm not sure if it'll be Saturday or Sunday. We'll play it by ear. Keep an eye on my social media, and then you won't miss out. Thank you very much for joining in tonight, folks. Toodle pip. Bye-bye.